Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to American Truck Simulator. I am your host, the Rental Man Buck. We are currently in a Kenworth T610 using the brand new MOZA Truck Simulator Racing Wheel, or if you're just kind of like me, a casual driving simulation. Now, I don't have a camera sitting right here yet. I'm working on the system so that way you guys can be able to see directly at this wheel, but I wanted to break into how this thing works, the R9 drive hub, and how everything just coordinates to each other. It really is a fine piece of machinery, and its craftsmanship is beyond my expectations. With that being said, we're going to deliver this 9R John Deere articulated tractor from Colville, Washington, all the way over to Yakima, Washington. I probably pronounced those two cities wrong, but I'm excited to start driving, so let's pop inside the cab and start our journey. While I'm not the most pristine truck simulator driver you will ever see in your life, this wheel has definitely kind of been a difference to set up. I'm used to driving with a Logitech G27, but MOZA reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and said, hey, we have this new wheel that's coming out, the truck sim wheel itself. Would you like to be one of our first people to try this thing and help promote it? And I was kind of hesitant because I've always used the Logitech wheel to no real problems. The only thing I've ever had as an issue was, to say the least, age. But just playing with this wheel for the last 2 days now that I've had it, I have noticed a significant difference in just the level of technological advances that this wheel offers. It feels a lot like a pickup truck wheel, and its quality, the vinyl wrapping and the plastic, it's not cheap. Like, this is actually good quality materials. As you guys probably saw in my unboxing video you could find in the top right hand corner, I got a few more things though than just the standard what comes with this wheel. My knowledge is that the Truck Simulator Wheel Package Bundle will come with the 2-pedal SRP pedal system, along with the Truck Simulator Wheel and the R9 drive hub. If you guys know anything about my channel, though, I'm not really a sequential or a paddle shift guy. I am much more a 6-speed traditional on the floor with the 3rd pedal. So MOZA also incorporated the 7-speed gearbox and the 3rd clutch pedal. Cruising along in American Truck Sim, though, the force feedback, you guys can see how the wheel kind of gyrates a little bit. I've really noticed that the force feedback difference between this wheel and my previous one, this one is far superior. Something you guys might notice is a little different is I seem to be sitting a little bit higher. That is because if you watch the photos going across the screen, this is the way the setup looks right now. I wanted to try and set this up where I could actually use the truck-mounted tilt bracket, is that you are allowed to tilt the steering wheel up, and I have mine set probably a little bit more modest, kind of like a pickup wheel. And the feeling of this all is just, it's so new. It's like there's nothing that's really different, but I really just kind of like how it feels. 97,000 pounds, though, leaving the city. We got a ways to go. If all of you wonderful people like content like this and would love to see more, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe down below. We are on the race to 100,000 public subscribers by the end of this year. With the opportunities that have been gifted to me by using this new MOZA wheel, with stuff that I'm doing with my partners at Andy, with Andy Clean, the world's greatest farm soap, and all the rest of the wonderful people that I've gotten to work with over the time of building this channel. Hopping outside this Kenworth 610, handles like a dream. It's got a 600 horsepower Cummins motor in it with an 18-speed transmission. This is more of an Australian truck, but you know, I don't really mind that. It looks really, really good, and we did also get a custom yellow and black 3-axle lowboy, and I've yet to notice any problems while pulling. If you guys are looking into possibly investing in this wheel, or really any sim wheel in general, I highly recommend you guys check this stuff out. This is not necessarily an entry level. I would consider this particular wheel a mid-level entry. It's still really, really good quality. It's not going to break the budget, but you are looking at probably almost $300 just to get yourself into a basic level of one of these. All the links you guys will need to find out more or possibly invest in MOZA's product line can be found in the description down below. I'm just trying to put my pedal to the metal and the thingy to the floor and not let myself go off the road. If you guys watch any ATS streams, I usually am not the greatest driver. I'm usually all over the road, but now because I can actually feel what's going on with the wheel, this might become even more treacherous. Depending on how you use your wheel setup and how you plan to mount it, it can really depend on the range on how long it takes to set up. Mine, on the other hand, I had to do quite a bit of modifying because I don't really have a fancier wheel stand. So in total, mine took about 6 hours to set up between rerouting wires, getting everything bolted, fastened, or drilled. But by doing that, this wheel is not going anywhere. It is securely fastened to my system, and it has yet to prove me wrong anyway. I know I'm more of a rougher driver, especially when it comes to racing games, so I really like to make sure my stuff is secured down to its base. Setting the key binding to the buttons is definitely a bit more streamlined than you think. Because of the fact you have so many more buttons on the wheel, I'm trying to get used to just using the new stuff. And conveniency-wise, it really has made a difference. You got all your different buttons for your turn signals side by side. I can turn on my lights. I can turn on my windshield wipers. I have a button to turn on and off the engine, my cruise control, horn. On the right side of the steering wheel, what we considered your radio controls, so volume, turn off, mute, up, down. Those actually I have right now set to my splitter ranges since I run an 18 speed. I don't have the fancy like semi shift knob with the splitter and the high-low, so I have to do my own buttons until I can get one of those. The biggest thing right now is I really want to get the camera that sits back here so you guys can see the setup itself. I probably won't run the face cam, but I might run the camera down by my feet so you guys can see some footwork. That'll be more for streams, but we're not going to be doing the face cam and the wheel cam for every single video. I really wanted to just show you guys kind of what this wheel looked like, how big it was, how it feels when you're driving. The force feedback compared to other wheels I would presume is a lot smoother. The force feedback doesn't feel like a jittery, it actually feels just like a regular road disturbances. Let's pass the inspection. Of course, I killed it on the way into the thing, so that's not surprising. We're just gonna ignore the fact that this thing is technically loaded illegally because you're supposed to take off the duals, but it was the only like John Deere mod that I could technically find. It appears to be there is a traffic jam, so I'm gonna try and get around this, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. A big thing that I have noticed is how different the force feedback between different games actually feels. In American Truck Sim, it's more just a stuttery back and forth. If you're playing something like Forza allows you to feel the ground a little bit more. Like if you hit a bump, your wheels sometimes will like shake like this. But the best game that I have played so far easily has to have been BeamNG. BeamNG is just known for their physics themselves, but if you're driving a regular base game vehicle on their maps and you hit a pothole, it really just feels like you're driving the car. And especially since this wheel is the size of a normal car wheel, you really get that like throwback feeling. And plus it's a 4-spoke wheel, so I can just rest my hands on this like a regular steering wheel, and I really like that. But I'm going to shut my jibber-jabber for just a little bit, and we are going to get our Kenworth mic'd up moment of the day listening to this glorious Cummins scream. Kenny, take it away. The biggest thing, I guess, that sucks about this truck is it doesn't really have a jake brake. Not really known for that one. But this is our exit, so let's just kind of gear down a little bit. Yeah, that's the jake brake on this thing. Sure as heck ain't the W900 on my Caterpillar. I believe we are going to be closing in within 30 miles of our destination. Let's finish this one off and see just how much money we can make. I haven't explored a whole lot of Washington, but I do know so far, as the amount of times that I at least have been in the state, I really haven't been disappointed with the layout at all. Let's pop on the freeway, kick on our wipers since the rain is just now starting to fall, and keep on trucking. Coming up on our turn, though, this feels a lot like Nebraska. All I see is just corn and flat. Flat and corn. ATS definitely has a bit more of a force feedback on torque. On flat land, like flat pavement, if you were to step on it and first, yeah, just like that, it pulls to the right. It's actually kind of cool. We just got to finagle our way around the farmyard and kind of find out where we're supposed to put this. I think it's a back in. Yes, we have to back this thing in. We're going to test my backing skills. This is where I really should have went with just a day cab one of these things.
Later.
Or if I would have just used this thing called my brain, I would have known that I could have been able to pull around and then use that pulling around ability to then just have to back it straight into the area. That might have been a good idea. You know, I'm going to test it. I'm going to test that theory. Let's test it out, shall we? Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb to say that was significantly easier. Put it right between the lines. I feel like I'm a little farther over because I can't see it past that duel, but we need to be right between the lines. Nope, we are off. That's all right, though. Reset the system and just back it straight up. Let us turn off the truck and see what we did. Excelente. But I think that is going to conclude our first and official drive with the brand new MOZA Racing steering wheel. This is, like I mentioned earlier in the beginning, the truck version simulator. So if you guys want to check this out, I do have a link to where you guys can find this on MOZA's website down below. As I stated also as well, this is more of a mid-ranged wheel. So if you guys are looking to get a bit more serious about your steering wheel decisions on what you want to do for sim wheels, definitely worth the money. I will tell you that. I have yet to have an issue with this thing where it's proven me that I don't like it. And I plan to have a lot of content coming with this wheel for months and possibly even more years to come. With the rest of that being said, this is the Rental Man out.